Hello and welcome along to a live pre-match chat ahead of Leeds United's clash with Brighton at Elland Road this afternoon. The game kicks off at 3 p.m. and is live on Sky Sports. We are live right now on our YouTube and Facebook, so if you are tuning in, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like the video, share, comment and subscribe, and get your comments in ahead of this afternoon's game. I'm McIntyre, and joining me is my podcast co-host, Charles Foster. Charles, hello, mate.
Hi, Ed, how you doing?
I'm quite well, although after seeing that lineup, I'm not doing too well. So Charles, kickoff is in 40 minutes or so. How are you feeling heading into the game right now?
More nervous now than I was 20 minutes ago.
And I take it that's because of a lineup. So we'll run through the Leeds United lineup now. So ghTg starts in goal. You've got Alioski, Luke Ayling, Liam Cooper, and Stuart Dallas in defence. Pascal Struijk in place for Calvin Phillips. Of course, Calvin Phillips is suspended for this game after picking up 5 yellow cards. He's picked up his 5th one in that defeat at Spurs. So, he is out for this game. So, Struijk is in his place, as expected. Mateusz Klich, Jack Harrison, Rodrigo, Rafinha, and Bamford are up front. Another bench, you've got Elia Caprill, Jenkins, Davis, Diego Llorente, who returns after injury, Jamie Shackleton, Helder Costa, Tyler Roberts, who returns after illness, Pablo Hernandez, and Jan Poveda. So it's expected in most areas, but Meslier not involved at all. We're waiting to see if the club confirm whether it is a COVID case, a positive COVID case. There were rumours this week, and it looks to be the case. Meslier has posted on Instagram that he is getting better soon, thanking fans for all the nice messages. But ghTg, Charles, starts. How does ghTg start after last week?
I've no idea. I mean, Bielsa made a big thing of defending him in the pre-match press conference, so I think that's to do with it. But I think, from what I understand, I think Meslier is going to be ill, with COVID in it, so he's going to be out. I still wouldn't have started Garcia personally. I think he's a dreadful goalkeeper, even putting aside his off-the-pitch stuff. So I'd have gone with Elia Caprill and just risked it on a youngster, because I think honestly it wouldn't be as bad, and it'd be a good experience for him. But yeah, I'm just disappointed with that. And I also think if Llorente is fit enough, I would have started him as well and moved Luke Ayling back to right back, because as good as Luke Ayling's been at centre half, I think we have been missing his kind of ranging runs from right back and the overlaps that get us up the pitch. So I would have done it like that, but that's me. I'm sure Bielsa's got his own logic.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I feel as if a player is fit enough to be involved in the matchday squad, then they're fit enough to start. But they do need to be patient with Diego Llorente, because he's just come back from his 2nd injury this season. So, probably best not to chuck him straight in at the deep end. But now I'm just thinking, like, how bad is Elia Caprill for him not to start ahead of Kiko after last week's performance? Against Crawley, ghTg comes in making his 3rd appearance since last February. It's his chance to shine, because Meslier has just had a questionable performance against Spurs. So ghTg's chance to shine, and he puts in a performance like that. 2, maybe even all 3 of the goals from last week were all of his fault. There were awful goals to concede from a goalkeeper. I just don't see how after last week Bielsa can still start ghTg. It's not like that's the first bad performance ghTg has put in. We've seen him concede many goals like he did last week, and put in many performances like that. And I just think it's baffling. I mean, Bielsa came out in his press conference and was praising ghTg. But surely today, Charles, if ghTg does not put in a good performance and repays Bielsa for putting trust in him, then surely his time is up.
His time's up for me already. I don't want him in the club. I don't want him in the squad. I don't want him in the team. For me, I want to get rid of him. But Bielsa's determined to keep. I think it's one of the few things where Bielsa and the fans are going to just completely disagree. Because I think Bielsa, as far as he's concerned, sees it the way that Garcia has kind of served his punishment, is now ready to be accepted back in. For me, he should have been sacked on the spot for his off the field stuff. Well, I say off the field, it was technically on the pitch, but he got done for it off the field. But even as a footballer, he's dreadful. He concedes terrible near post and easy to save goals all the time. Yeah. And I just want him gone.
Yeah,
it's just like, do you
Go on.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Do you remember when Belushi came back in that 2017-18 season? Was it the start of the season when he came back to train? I think he'd been out on loan, and he just got like unbelievable abuse off the fans. So the club just kind of like sold him immediately. That I'm not saying he deserves to get huge abuse off the fans, although he will do if we ever get back. But he should be in this sort, sold and got rid of in a similar way, if you know what I mean.
Well, you've got Wayne on YouTube totally disagreeing with you, Charles, regarding the sacking of Cooks there. He says, leave it to the man in charge.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I know more than Bielsa. That's the way people always interpret it. I'm not saying I know more than Bielsa. I'm saying I would have sacked him as a player because I don't think he's good enough on the pitch, and I don't like the way he's conducted himself as a Leeds player. So yeah, Wayne's free to his opinion. I'm free to mine.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Charles. I don't want Keith Cooks to save at the club. Court case aside, he's just a dreadful goalkeeper. He can't put in performances like he did last week, and he's one of the highest earners. He's just not good enough. It's as simple as that. And Keith Cooks says time at the club has to be up soon. But anyway, Leeds go into this game on the back of that 3-0 defeat away at Crawley Town in the FA Cup third round last week. And of course, the last league game, we lost 3-0 away at Tottenham Hotspur. That was 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, we need to bounce back, really. We need to show a response from that dreadful performance last week and, just rebuild some form and rebuild some confidence again, don't we?
Yeah, the mood has not been really great the last couple of weeks amongst the fan base with regards to how we've been performing. Obviously, another bad FA Cup defeat. There does need to be kind of a bit of a bounce back and a bit of a lift, and beating a team around us would certainly do that. So I do hope we obviously get the win today.
Yeah, and I think the 3 points today would be massive. Brighton are currently 9 points behind us, so if we win today, we go 12 points above of them. Then that really does cement our place even more in mid-table. And I've said it before. I think we'll be fine. And I really wanted a cut run, so I'm disappointed about last week. But hopefully Leeds United can bounce back today. And we should fancy our chances against Brighton. They're not great at Brighton. We'll take a look at their team lineup then. So in goal, they've got Sanchez, Ben White starts for Brighton, making his return to Elland Road. You've got Webster, Lewis Dunk, Neil Maupay, who is their top goal scorer this season with 6 goals and 1 assist. You've got McAllister, Trossard, Gross, March, Byrne, and Veltman, and then on the bench you've got the likes of Plopper, who is a fantastic player for Brighton. So. Charles, how wary will Leeds United need to be of Neil Maupay, who starts today? He's their top goal scorer. I've always been a big fan of Maupay, so how wary are we going to have to be of him today?
We are going to have to be wary because he's a decent player. I don't like him personally because of the way he acted when he was playing for Brentford against us. Yeah, I can see Jamie Miller's comment there. We'll get to that in a second. He's a good striker, and he performed very well for Brentford against us. So we can't take it for granted because he has always consistently performed. So we're going to have to defend well and make sure we, have him man marked at all times. Ideally, hopefully they'll stick. I imagine that'll be Cooper's job for the game, just to make sure that Maupay doesn't get a sniff.
Yeah, and Maupay could have a field day against, as Jimmy Miller describes, as Calamity Casilla. Yeah, I'm kind of scared. I mean, Charles, shall we guess what minute Cooks will concede a goal at his near post? What minute are you saying?
Oh, I'm not going to throw a random number out there. That'd be a bit glib, but I do think he's going to concede a shocking goal today. Whether or not we win, I think he will concede a shocking goal. And if I'm wrong, I'm delighted to be wrong because I don't like it when Leeds United concede.
Yeah,
exactly. I won't be surprised at all. I won't be surprised at all if he does concede a shocker.
Yeah, I just hope that Keith Cooks does prove us wrong and puts in a good performance. That's all we want, but we've just seen too many bad performances from him, and we're not fans of Casilla. But Ben White though starts for Brighton. It's going to be so weird, isn't it, Charles, seeing Ben White playing in a different team shirt at Elland Road?
We all say that, but he has always been a Brighton player. They've always been his parent club. We just obviously took a bit of ownership with him due to how great his performances have been, but. Yeah, I'd rather he not start. To be honest, I don't really want to play against him because you like a player when they play for you, and then when they don't play for you anymore, you kind of it's when it's a player of that quality, you don't ever want to play against them again because I do think he's a really good player. Webster as well.
Yeah,
That other centre half is an excellent centre half as well. So it's going to be a job for Bamford and Harrison and the like to get through today.
Yeah, it certainly will be a hard job. Yeah, it's going to be weird seeing Ben White playing a Brighton shirt, but I'm looking forward to seeing him play at Elland Road again, even if it is for a different club. I'm glad that he's starting and getting game time in the Premier League, which he deserves, and hopefully he can move to a bigger club sooner or later, which he deserves. But no, you mentioned a few players there, the likes of Webster, Ben White as well. Could set pieces be an issue for Leeds United today again?
They're always an issue. I think we're joint highest in the league for set piece goals conceded. I think it's 10 in the league. So out of the 33 we've conceded, 10 have been, come from set pieces. So we really do have to be wary. And although Brighton, do play a decent brand of football, I don't think it's as good as ours when ours is at its best. But so they will try and play against us and come out at us. It won't be as heavily relying on set pieces as the likes of West Brom and Burnley were, but we do have to be wary because they do have the threat. Although aerially, Maupay is not really an issue because he's not really an aerial striker, but their centre half some set pieces will be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, certainly. Set pieces are always an issue, really, no matter what team we're playing against. We could play against an under-10s team and set pieces will still be an issue, probably. But no, Brighton, they'll certainly come out of Leeds today with Brighton. They'll be well up for it. They're in search for their first Premier League win since the 21st of November 2020, when they beat Aston Villa 2-1 away at Villa Park. They are winless in their last 9 league games, drawing 5 and losing 4. And Brighton have never won a Premier League game in January. Another record for Leeds United to break here.
Is this like no team had ever been top at Christmas in the Championship and not been promoted?
Yeah, it's like when we were coming up against QPR, who hadn't won in about 13 games, and then they go and nick a win against us.
And then after that game, after QPR beat us, they didn't win for like another 5 games after that either. It was like such an anomaly.
But no, Brighton, they're in decent, they're in decent form. 5 draws, but those 4 defeats. But no, they're certainly going to want to try and find a win and bounce away from that relegation zone that they sit just 1 place and 2 points above. But no, Brighton in the last game they played on Wednesday night, they got beat 1-0 away at Manchester City. They played okay as well. They'll certainly take positives from that game. They only lost 1-0. But Charles, Brighton have had less days rest than us, because playing on Wednesday night away at Manchester City, a long trip there and a long trip to Leeds today. Could that be an advantage for us, do you think?
I don't know. People always go on about this, but there's a lot of rest days in between Premier League games. Obviously, you said we've had more, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I mean, they are professional footballers at the end of the day. They are used to long distance travel and playing games and working out. So I can't see it having that much of an effect. And I think, no, I've got to say no. I don't think it'd be that much of an effect. Yeah,
the professional footballers that they're used to it. So I don't think it'll play much into effect. But no, it's certainly going to be a tough game. No matter for the form that Brighton are in. The fact that they haven't won for 2 months. Forget that. They're certainly going to be up for it, and Leeds going to have to be on top of their game to bounce back here. Well, moving on to previous meetings then. So Leeds United have lost 7 of the last 9 league matches against Brighton, but we did, however, win our most recent game against them in the Championship in March 2017. Many will remember that. Chris Wood scored twice on that night to win 2-0 Elland Road, secured a big 3 points. It looked inevitable that we were going to finish in the playoffs, but we of course didn't that season. But no, a fantastic night. Was that night I was there in the South Stand. It was mental. The last time we faced Brighton was at Elland Road and we won 2-0. But today, though, it's the first ever Premier League meeting between Leeds and Brighton. But we have played them in the top flight before. The last top flight meeting was in May 1982. Leeds United won 2-0 at Elland Road. And we've never lost a top flight game against Brighton at home. We've won 2 and drawn 1 meeting in the top flight against Brighton at home. So, history is on our side, when it comes to top flight games. Charles, what's your score prediction today? What game are you expecting?
Well, I said 2-1 in the well, I'll say 2-1. I think it's going to be 2-1 because the defence aren't great at the moment. Obviously, we've got Kassir in goal, which is, a handicap at the best of times. And I still think the defence has been a bit disrupted. So I do think we are, personnel-wise, I do think we are going to concede. But at the same time, I've got confidence that we've learned some lessons from the kind of humiliating defeat against Crawley, and I hope we can put together some more attacking manoeuvres. I do think we're going to get some chances, and I do think we're going to score. So, yeah, 2-1. I reckon Bamford will score as well. So, yeah. I'm not going to bet on it though. I'm not a betting man, but that's my prediction.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be quite an open game. I can't see too many goals, but I think it'll be open. I think both sides will score, but yeah, I'll go with your score prediction as well, 2-1. Yeah, hopefully Leeds United can just bounce back from that awful defeat last week and return to winning ways. Still in search for our first win of the new year, so hopefully Leeds United can get it today. Let's have a look at the comments. So King M on YouTube says, what is your opinion about Alioski? Charles, we'll start with you. What's your opinion on Alioski, mate?
What, on his personality or his footballing ability? Because
everything.
I think he's great to have around the squad. I think those kind of personalities, I think they really do liven up a squad and probably make the dressing room just funny at all times. I don't think he's reliable defensively, though, if I'm being honest. I think he's a good weapon when we're on top in games and he's at left back. He's a good weapon because he's, basically an extra winger in the team that can push on and now and again he'll score a cracker like he did against West Brom. But I think defensively we are sometimes weak when he's in the team in the back line. I think he just gets either too far forward or he's out of position or he can get turned down again. He's not the strongest of players, so sometimes he does get out strength basically, and people basically breeze past him. So I do think he's a bit weak defensively. But when we're on top, I think he's a great player to have on the pitch. But when we're under the cosh a bit, I do worry about having him at left back.
Yeah, I agree. I love Alioski. I think he's a great personality. He's an absolute mental person. When he's playing really well, he's a really good player. On that wing, I think he connects with Harrison really, really well. He's capable of scoring some quite good goals, and some important goals as well. But I do think defensively we are quite weak on that left hand side when Alioski is there. And I really wish that either for this month or for the summer, we get a proper good quality left-sided left back in the club. I think that'll be great. Replace Barry Douglas, but obviously with someone way better than Barry Douglas. I'm a fan of Alioski, but I think we can get better in that position. But yeah, thank you for your question, King M. That's our opinions on Alioski. Hopefully we answered that the best we can. But no, we'll wrap it up there then. So Charles, you're going 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1. Hopefully Leeds United can get the 3 points today and bounce back. But thank you everyone who's joined us on YouTube and Facebook. We really do appreciate it. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow on whatever platform you are on. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoy the game. Until next time, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.